Hello. So by now we know that the process in which the food is converted into energy is called respiration. This respiration is of two types, anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, food is converted into energy in absence of oxygen, while in aerobic respiration, the food is converted into energy in presence of oxygen. Aquatic animals like fishes take the dissolved oxygen in water, while terrestrial animals like lions, deer, elephant and even us, we take the oxygen from the environment. Now, to take this oxygen, we all have special organs in us called lungs. So, these lungs are the main respiratory organs in us. So, now let's study the respiratory system of humans in detail. As I just said that in our body, the oxygen is taken by the lungs. So, there should be some passage by which this oxygen is taken in our body and transported to the lungs. So, we take in this oxygen from the atmosphere through our nostrils. The nostrils have hair in them. These hairs, they help in filtration of the air for impurities. Now these nostrils are also lined with mucus to help in this filtration process. Now air from these nostrils, they enter into the throat, and from throat it enters into the trachea. This trachea is also known as windpipe. You might have noticed that when you talk while eating, you start coughing, and this coughing is because the food enters your windpipe or trachea. These trachea are surrounded by cartilage rings. These cartilage rings prevent the air passage from collapse. And now from trachea, the air finally reaches the lungs. Lungs are the primary organs in respiration. We have two lungs, a left lung and a right lung. These are present in either side of the chest. As we can see, the lungs are conical in shape, being narrow at the top and broad at the base. Moreover, these lungs have very fine and delicate surfaces to enable the smooth exchange of gases. Inside these lungs, the air passage is further divided into smaller tubes called bronchi. These bronchi end into balloon-like structures called alveoli. The walls of these alveoli have blood vessels in them. Gaseous exchange takes place through these blood vessels. That is, oxygen in these blood vessels is given out and CO2 is taken up by them. This CO2 then travels through the lungs and it is thrown out of the body when we breathe out. Lungs are surrounded by the rib cage. This rib cage protects the lungs. This is diaphragm. It's basically a muscle which is present beneath the lungs. This muscle helps in the process of respiration. When we take in air through our nostrils and it reaches the lungs, the diaphragm gets flattened. As a result, it increases the volume of the chest cavity, and so the lungs expand. These lungs in turn expand the alveoli, where the gaseous exchange occur. The oxygen from this alveoli is then exchanged by the carbon dioxide present outside the alveoli. Here, the oxygen from this alveoli is released in the bloodstream and is distributed throughout the body, and in turn carbon dioxide from the body is taken up by these alveoli to be expelled out from the body with the process of breathe out. In organisms with big body sizes like us, it is difficult for oxygen to travel throughout the body by just diffusion. So, we have respiratory pigments to take this oxygen throughout the body. This respiratory pigment in us is called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is present in red blood corpuscles or RBCs in us. while as carbon dioxide is more soluble in water, so it does not require any pigment. It is mainly found in the dissolved state in blood.